man was reportedly arrested near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house with a gun threatening Kavanaugh's life. Again, that put out by the Washington Post. So that report just came in here. We'll bring our panelists back in. Erin, Perrine, Josh Hammer, Andrea Kaye here on this breaking news. I'll go straight to Andrea Kaye on this. As you know, this is just developing. We don't have all of the facts just yet, but that is what we know. A man was arrested, he was armed, and he was threatening to kill the justice, according to that report. There was an arrest made again. Andrea, your thoughts on what is happening here?
Well, first of all, my thoughts and prayers go to the family, because I cannot imagine being Brett Kavanaugh, let alone his wife or his children, who have been under siege, as well as some of the other justices on the Supreme Court have been under siege by mobs attempting to intimidate them and threaten them in order to rule in a way that suits the mob. And it shouldn't have gotten to this point where it is illegal, as Emma mentioned in a previous segment. It's illegal, and all the mobs outside that led up to this man being there should have been arrested. And but when it comes to Kavanaugh, though, I want to point out that it's not even just so much about the leaked opinion. I think that this also goes back to the smear campaign against him, falsely accusing him of gang raping women back when he was a nominee for the Supreme Court. And so this is incredibly chilling, and I think that that's what it's meant to do. It's to chill the opinions and chill the plans for the Supreme Court and the fellow justices. And I'm just really rocked right now at this arrest.
Well, we as Americans would want all of the SCOTUS justices to be safe and be protected while they're able to do their work. And as we await maybe learning additional information about this guy's motive, Josh, it does make you wonder, though, based on that draft opinion, is there intense pressure? We've seen DHS come out with memos concerned about increased violence stemming from the decision to take place.
You know, unfortunately, these memos don't go nearly far enough, though. You know, as was just mentioned, there happens to be a federal statute directly on the books. I don't remember the exact citation. I think it might be 15 U.S. Code 1802 or something right around there. There was literally a statute on the books that precludes, that prohibits, that illegalizes exactly what these protesters have been doing. And unfortunately, I think this horrific breaking news is a directly foreseeable consequence of the culture of lawlessness, of intimidation, of institutional destruction, and of iconoclasm that the Democratic Party and their leftist hacks in their base have established. I mean, think all the way back to August 2020 when Kamala Harris, if I remember correctly, she started to get a bail fund going for what was happening in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is mainstream liberal Democratic Party thought at this point, is lawlessness, jailbreak, anarchy, destruction of institutions. At this point, the Supreme Court has to get the Dobbs opinion out. That is the biggest takeaway here. Unless and until they get that opinion out immediately, these threats, I think, are only going to escalate, unfortunately.
That's an interesting point. Erin, I want to point out something that the DHS was in that earlier tear we showed you, that it pointed to the threats would be from pro-life narratives. However, in the report, two people familiar with the investigation said the initial evidence indicates that the man was angry, signaling the court is preparing to overturn Roe v. Wade. Also, that he was angry over a recent spate of mass shootings as well that happened. So this typically, according to this report, wouldn't be a man who would be pro-life. He would be what many call pro-choice. Erin, your thoughts on this?
First and foremost, today, right now, Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats need to get off their hands and pass the legislation to increase protection for the Supreme Court that easily passed the United States Senate last month and get it to President Biden and signed into law. Period. There's no reason this should still be held up because Democrats are playing political games. But to your point about the media trying to say, oh, this is the right-wing extremists, it's not, especially when we're seeing what the facts may be coming out of this potential attack on Justice Kavanaugh. He is very clearly a conservative justice on the Supreme Court. So to that fact, it doesn't fit the media narrative that they've tried to perpetuate. We've seen actually an increase in bombings of pro-life community centers where women can get access to help to keep their child. That's not done by pro-life extremists. That's done by the radical left. So today, everybody should stand together in the House of Representatives, pass this protection for the Supreme Court unanimously, and let's get law and order so that we make sure we don't see intimidation anywhere in any portion of the judiciary in the United States.
We're showing that polling there. Many don't agree about protesting or releasing information about the Supreme Court justices. Erin, Perrine, Josh Hammer, Andrea, Kaye on that breaking news. Thank you for joining us here.